Omaha is famous as home to the Union Pacific Railroad, but there's another line that's making a name for itself in Omaha, and this one features tigers and cotton candy.
Nope, it's not Africa, but some of the scenery is familiar. It's the Henry Doorly Zoo in Omaha, Nebraska, and it's quite a ride.
Very difficult to make an interesting zoo or an interesting botanical garden or interesting anything on a piece of flat ground. You know, people who start out with flat ground end up making their own mountains and building mounds of dirt. And what we've done is taken the existing park, which had been, you know, around a long time and with a lot of mature trees, and tried to keep most of the park as an open park, you know, which is where the railroad runs through.
The 119 is the centerpiece of the zoo rails. While it chugs right along, filled with happy passengers, it wasn't a neat fit when it arrived back in the 60s.
The old 119, you know, was originally built specifically for this park in 1968 by Crown Metal, and we kind of had difficulties with it from day one because we had a couple of grades here that went to 6%, and we had some very tight curves, and so over the years we have tweaked and tuned it up, and also lowered our grades on our two bad hills, and also pushed our curves out by considerable, so that you know, the apparent grade that the locomotives saw was left. But then 2 years ago we tore the old 19 down, clear down to the frames, and did a complete rebuild. So it is, other than the fact that most of the iron is old, it's literally a brand new engine.
Of course, people don't just come here for the train. The zoo is home to an IMAX 3D theater, a massive aquarium complete with sharks and penguins, something you'd never see in the wild. And back to the train theme, this awesome engine house.
Eventually, as Union Pacific decided to close their shops down here in downtown Omaha, they allowed us to come in, and they essentially donated some machinery to us for us to use in the repair of our locomotives, as well as donating us funds to build the engine house here, so that we could put the equipment in here, as well as the locomotives, for us to work on them then ourselves.
When you hop aboard, it's off on a wild journey. You're carried along smoothly, riding on the 30-inch gauge line. Let me take you back for a moment. This is reminding me of another Tracks Ahead piece. Let's compare. Africa, Omaha, Africa, Omaha, Africa, Omaha. There are definitely some bonuses to riding the wild rails in Nebraska. Little things like stroller-friendly walkways and fences to keep the wild things just out of striking range. Plus, no malaria shots, no political turmoil, and when the ride is over, you can grab an ice cream cone. Just try that in Africa.